All right, Ellis Cinema back. Another dish. How we doing out there? Good, great, grand, wonderful. As you see on your screen, your dial, however you are choosing to join us today, I know the cast and the crew of the film appreciates you. As you see, Havoc. Havoc is written and directed by Gareth Evans. It is starring Tom Hardy, Jessie Mei Li, Timothy Oliphant, Forest Whitiker, Sonny Pang, Justin Cornwell, Quinlan Sepulveda, Luis Guzman, Yeo Yann Yann, Michelle Waterson Gomez, and many, many more. We got cinematography, which was top notch by Matthew Flannery. We have the original score by a Evans brother, because he has done the Raid films with him, Aria Prayogi. We got editors Sarah Jones and Matt Platts-Mills. Great production design by Tom Pearce, and we have action design and stunt coordination by Jude Poyer. Havoc is a relentless neo noir crime thriller in a rain soaked, crime ridden cityscape. It follows Detective Patrick Walker, a seasoned and morally compromised cop who becomes entangled in a complex web of corruption, betrayal, and violence. After a botched drug deal, Walker is tasked with rescuing Charlie Beaumont, played by Justin Cornwell, the estranged son of powerful mayoral candidate Lawrence Beaumont, played by Forest Whitaker. Charlie's involvement in the deal sets off a chain of events that pits Walker against gangsters, corrupt officials, and his own past. So, Havoc emerged as a cinematic spectacle in April 2025. I know me and a lot of people listening to the show right now have been clamoring for years, ladies and gentlemen, members of the audience, years for this one. So I was so stoked to be able to sit down and watch it. Features everyone that I had just mentioned. And what I would say is Gareth draws inspiration from like old Chinese action films, particularly those directed by John Woo, and mixing a little bit of his own version of the French Connection in it, which I thoroughly enjoy, obviously anything John Woo does, and the French Connection is legendary. Gareth Evans, the writer director, is known for his masterful direction in the Raid series, in Marantau and Apostle, and it brings a unique blend of intensity and a narrative depth to Havoc. His script intricately weaves character development with exhilarating action sequences, reminiscent of the storytelling prowess of John Woo's classics and the gritty realism of French Connection. Evans' ability to balance emotional stakes with high octane thrills is evident throughout the film, making it a compelling theater going experience. Well, I wish we would have got to see it in the theater. You know, Netflix doesn't do a whole lot of theater releases, but that would have been fantastic. But nevertheless, still a great experience for the audience. One of the things that stands out for me is the cinematography. The cinematography of Havoc is helmed by Matthew Flannery, whose collaboration with Evans in previous projects. Um, it's critically acclaimed, ladies and gentlemen. You look at this film, and it doesn't look like a $2 film. It looks like a $200 million film. Flannery's visual approach in Havoc captures the raw energy and intricate choreography of the action scenes while maintaining a cohesive aesthetic. His use of dynamic camera movements and innovative angles not only enhance the storytelling, but also pays homage to the visual styles of the classic action genre. The film's visual palette is both gritty and vibrant, reflecting chaotic yet a structured world that the characters try to navigate. The soundtrack, another one of my favorite portions of the film, by Aria Prayogi. It serves as a sonic backbone for the film, driving the narrative forward with pulsating rhythms and evocative melodies. Prayogi skillfully blends traditional orchestral elements and contemporary electronic sounds, creating a soundscape that is both timeless and modern. The score complements the film's intense action sequences and emotional moments, enhancing the overall viewing experience. Cannot agree with that more. Each musical cue is meticulously crafted to resonate with the film's thematic undertones and character arcs. I definitely wanted to point out the production design by Tom Pearce. Tom Pearce production design in Havoc is a testament to meticulous craftsmanship and creative vision. The sets are intricately designed to reflect the film's diverse locations, from urban landscapes to intimate interiors. Pearce's attention to detail ensures that each environment contributes to the narrative, creating a believable and immersive world for the characters to inhabit. The production design seamlessly integrates with the film's visual aesthetic, reinforcing the themes of chaos and order that permeate throughout the story. As I mentioned before, we have influences and homages that use stylistic and elements of motifs of old. The Chinese action films of John Woo. The film's emphasis on brotherhood, honor, and redemption echoes Woo's signature storytelling approach. Additionally, Havoc incorporates the gritty, realistic aesthetic and complex character dynamic reminiscent of the French Connection. Evans' ability to synthesize these influence into a coherent and original narrative is commendable, resulting in a film that is both a tribute to its predecessors and a fresh addition to the action genre. In conclusion, Havoc stands out as a formidable piece of cinema, showcasing Gareth Evans' prowess in writing and directing, Matthew Flannery's innovative cinematography, Aria Prayogi's evocative soundtrack, and Tom Pearce's meticulously crafted production design. The film's ability to blend influences from John Woo and the French Connection while maintaining its own identity is a testament to the collaborative effort of its talented creators. Havoc not only entertains but enriches the action genre, leaving a lasting impact on its audience and broader cinematic landscape. And a part of that cinematic landscape, ladies and gentlemen, no stranger to the show. He has been on the show several times before. I don't even consider him a work confidant anymore. I consider him a friend, and he's been kind enough to grace us with his presence. One of the actors from the film Havoc, ladies and gentlemen, the man behind Ching, Sonny Pang. Sonny. So happy to have
Yo,
Sonny is back, ladies and gentlemen.
yo, what's up? What's up? How's everybody doing? How you doing, brother?
Oh, I am doing well. How about, you know what? Let's talk about that. How are you, sir? I don't I let's put the movie on hold for a second. How are you,
Yeah.
the man? How are you?
Well, surviving as usual. I mean, doing different things, trying out different things, especially vertical series. Trying to like get my hands onto it. How will I put it? Never been to doing this vertical series is really a new ways of shooting dramas and action. So trial and error. So getting my hands on it, learning the way as I progress with my team and so on. Well, it's not too bad. It's pretty good, but at the same time, it's pretty bad because I closed down my studio somehow because of the rental was way too much. I have to like screw this. I'm going to close it for a bit and come back later. So and therefore, like I jump into vertical series and yeah,
But
and have it happen.
you're talking
Yeah,
about the Ronin Action studio,
yeah.
correct?
Yes, correct. But it's okay, all the guys understood. We have some other people that collaborate with us, lend out the space so we can train once in a while. But then again, we still get jobs here and there. It's not really like what it used to, but because what is happening, the whole climate change of filming industry is changing. And we gotta learn how to deal with the situation that it comes, learn how to use a lot of different ways of platform to make movies right now, or maybe make series at this point in time, as we see, like the vertical series of the one. Yeah.
And you're talking about the Executioner, right?
Yes, correct. Executioner. Executioner, well, yeah, I'm the one leading the action bits with my team as well. Some of the students of mine actually get their hands of it to do some fight scene as well. Yeah.
So actually, before we get into Havoc, let's briefly talk about that, man. Do you actually think, with the way that kind of studios are drifting away from an old formula or an old format of how they used to make and distribute movies, on the one hand, for me, I see it being a bad thing. And then the flip side of that is I also see it possibly being a really good thing for beginning filmmakers, because if you kind of have it in your head like, I'm never going to get a studio to promote this and put it in theaters, blah 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 blah, there is something to be said about shooting, a vertical web series and being able to
Correct.
distribute it yourself. So I was just curious on where you lie on that.
I think that it's both good and bad, for me, because as like I said, the climate right now on filmmaking is completely changed the whole course of how we used to make movies. Of course, that you will expect still some of the people who's trying to make good movies, I would say. It's not completely going to end, but maybe on a much more tighter budgets, or maybe shifting the whole shooting format to another countries, like a cheaper budget, and so on. And but there's still people watching movies like you and me and some of the people. It's not completely dead, but maybe because of the pricing is a bit down, a little bit lesser, and the A-list will think twice before they get involved, right? Or maybe you don't need the A-list. I don't know, right? For me, I think that the verticals help us through to a certain times because back in Southeast Asia, we don't have a system like the West did. Like, you have actors union, you have your crew union, you have a stunt union, where Southeast Asia, we don't have it, right? So it's kind of like we don't know where to look for work at some point. Sometimes we go by word of mouth or reputations, the things that you do, or maybe that because of your credit that what you have done. So maybe they're gonna hire you, but they always talk about dollar and cents. So where do we go from there? And the budget's not getting bigger. It goes smaller and smaller and crazier. You gotta feed the guys and myself. And I just lost a couple of guys on my end because they have to do full-time jobs because they can't live like that, without any jobs. At the end of it is how the way actually we create new opportunities for ourselves and for the people around us. So I think the vertical series might be the answer to all of us as filmmakers, even for beginners as well. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's kind of interesting to see where we'll go from here. I don't know. So the reason why I continue to do the show, actually, the reason why I started doing this show to begin with, whatever, 6, 7 years ago, whenever I started, was because I kind of saw the landscape of film changing, but more importantly, the audiences drifting towards, I mean, let's just be real, more of a short form format. They want to
Yes.
see things in reels. They want to see things in, something that spans 10 seconds to only 5 minutes. And I work with a couple people where even like 5 minutes is a lot to them to pay attention.
Yeah.
And I kind of I'm not saying that you can't be entertained by that format, but for people like you and I, we consider the theater going experience like going to church. It's communal.
Mm,
Like
correct.
it is a something that you are meant to take part with everyone around you. And it's weird. I think like, and it's not to bang, streaming services like Netflix, but I get the idea of, it's easier to watch stuff at home. But for
Hmm.
something like this, it has Tom, it has you, it has Forest Whitaker, it has Timothy Oliphant. There's no fucking reason, Sonny, that this shouldn't been released in the theater. You know what I'm saying? Even
Yeah.
if it's a short release, I still think this is one of those things where it behooves you to see it on a big screen. In fact, I was very jealous of all you guys because you guys did a Q&A on the big screen, didn't you?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So for me, I think cinema will not go away, but the short spending of people not watching a big whole feature film inside the cinema as well, because they don't have that kind of what you call community. Is everybody's to himself. It's very solo, and it's always thinking that and also the kind of like lifestyle that we have right now is all on the phone, right? And with the earpiece, and that's it. You can get yourself into that big that experience, but it's very minimal because a lot of people like those people that doesn't really step into a cinema, they don't understand it. So they need to step inside to the cinema and experience the whole, experiences and to realize that wow, that is so different feeling. It's really you feel the gunshot, you feel the impact, you feel the whole tremors of the whole floor, or even the vibrate of the whole bodies and everything goes around it, right? And the dialogue and the closeness towards the characters, because a lot of people just don't have the time. Because some people may have three jobs at one go. The only way to entertain themselves to smoking break and just go through 2 minutes of smoking break and look at it, and after that, okay, I continue with it. And it's they according to them, it's cheaper as well to subscribe into that. There's like what, $5 per month, and you can see all kinds of crap. But what they don't realize is just the experience of it. Like myself, I love cinema my whole life, right? I even spent back in 2000, I spent like what, $6,000 to buy proper AV receiver, central speakers, all the home theaters, theater system, right? Just to experience what is it, re-experience again the movie that I love. And I think that it will not go away, but for that reason. But we need good, what I hold as a storytelling, not what recently has happened. All that woke culture, all that nonsense out there, spoiling the whole cinemas, and the story is just, not well written, and it's really cheesy. Either you got cheesy, or it's just like, why the hell do you even make this movie? And you spend those kind of money, or just like, why am I paying for this, right? Because whatever people's pay, they expect something else better than experience, not just by seeing gunshot special effects, but to understand or feel that they in those moments to experience the kind of storytelling they always used to have a good laugh, have a good crazy moments, or have a scare moments, those kind of thing. But in vertical, no matter what it is, I can tell this because I shoot some of the stuff. It's still relatively new. There's still a lot of things you can't shoot. While fight scene, you need to shift a little bit. And sometimes when my guys fight too fast, I say, hey, where the hell are they? Try to capture them. Just like, what the fuck? You have to redo over and over again. So it tends to like scratch your head or your balls. It's just like, okay, change another angle. You know, Sometimes very miserable, right? So until they have a better technology, maybe they will not surpass the kind of quality of how movie making gonna be. Maybe reach a tip a little bit, but not crazy. We are trying, but then again, I think cinema will still be there, but hopefully that everybody gets to wake their fuck up and invest in the right people, not invest in the wrong people. You want your money back? Don't listen to those, honey coated tongue that lick your balls, man. Come on, get the fuck out of here. You know what I mean? Those are can't jump, and can't you see? You know what I mean? And those with an agendas, you can ask them to go fly a kite, go kill themselves somewhere else. Leave it to the people like Gareth Evans. He really put all the heart and soul down to it, right? With even with Tom Hardy as well. That guy's basically a beast. Why is it work so hard? And then when the film comes out, I understand why. Because you just want people to be entertained. Of course, out there's a lot of people nitpicking because of this, because of that. It's just social genres are quite stereotypical. But let me ask you this: what is not stereotypical in terms of action, right? You got to put people in harm's way. You got to find a way to entertain people with a different kind of plot they're putting in. Maybe it's kind of same, but let me ask you this: do you think hero can come out survive the next day? Get the fuck out of here. You know what I mean?
No, no, definitely not. Well,
Yeah, I mean,
do
yeah,
you
go ahead, go ahead.
do you think that and I'm glad that you brought up Gareth, and we'll get into Havoc. What I'm hoping with cinema is that it's kind of like clothes. So you know how clothes always kind of go out of fashion, then they come back
Yeah,
into fashion. I'm
yes,
hoping that movies do that eventually here, because I do think a lot of people that grew up with short form media, they're going to start to, I hope, I don't know for sure. I hope that they start to expand their horizons a little bit and go back to, like you said, a full story. Like you are invested in the characters, you are
yeah.
invested in the action pieces or whatever it may be. So I'm hoping that happens. But you brought up Gareth and Tom and really the attention to detail
Yeah.
with Havoc. So I guess for starters, I hate to be cliche and boring, but how did you get involved with the project? How did that kind of come about?
Well, Gav actually one day called me out of the blue when I'm watching a good movies and say, "Hey, Sonny," I say, "Yeah, what the fuck? I'm watching a movie, man. Yeah, I got something to tell you. What? You're a virgin? Fuck off." Oh, I'm just kidding. He said, "No, no, no, I got a project for you. I want you to be in it." So I said, "Okay, who's in it?" He said, "Call Marty." Okay, I'm in. So that's how it started, right? I mean that way before that, 2014. That's how long I know Gareth Evans. We were supposed to shoot something together. It was supposed to be the night come for us, and Timo that time was supposed to be a director, and Gareth Evans was supposed to be action director. Those two directors were supposed to come together and work on this film. I did went over to do some training back then for like good 2 months ish, three. And one day, just Gav just called me and go into the office and said, "I have to apologize to you. We have to can this thing because there's some issue and we got no other choice but to shut it down and for good." So I said, "Okay, fine." And Timo said the same thing, went up to my room and went up to the apartment where would I stay and tell me the same thing. So they both say the same thing. Once they have really something that they want me to play, they will call me. So they are just fulfilling their promises, which is something that is very few people will do in this world. I can tell you that. It's a very honorable thing for man to man give their promises. And also at the same time that I will promise them that I will not screw it up without telling them I will screw it up. Of course, that we will make sure that everything is on point that what Gareth needs and what Timo needs. That's how a friendship should be. You see, with with this kind of day and age, word don't mean shit sometimes. But with this, right, I keep it deep to my heart, and I said that these are the people that it's getting rare. Nobody promises and will not keep, but they did promise and they keep. So I feel very glad and very grateful to what Gareth have given to me. Even though the Ching character, I said whatever you want me to play, but just don't. I don't watch window and butt naked. That's it.
Well, and you brought something up there, and
Yeah,
I don't know if I've told you this before, but
yeah,
you talk about loyalty and friendship, and even like that in itself has kind of changed dramatically over the last 10 years. But and
yeah.
I'm not just saying this because you're on the show, but I actually tell people about you all the time. Yes, I tell
Oh,
them
thank you.
to watch your movies and everything, but I also tell them about what kind of person you are. So in my experience, I have talked a lot. I have talked to several writers, directors, actors, you name it, from the West. And it's not to say that they aren't appreciative of coming on the show, but typically after I interview him, that's it. That's done. Like I never talk to him again. And it's a rarity with you. You'll actually just reach out to me and be like, "Hey, how are you going? I don't have a project to promote. I just want to know how you're doing." And I
Yeah,
tell people that story all the time because it means a lot to
yeah,
someone like me because obviously I'm not doing this for the fucking money. I am doing it to create relationships and form
yeah,
bonds with people that, down the line, like you said, it's not about going to work at that point. It's about getting together
no,
with your friend. And I just think that that's
yeah,
something that's kind of lost these days. So I just
yeah.
wanted to tell you that I tell people about you all the time. I'm like,
Thank
Sonny
you.
isn't just a work confidant. He's a friend at this point, and people from
Yeah,
the West just don't do that anymore. So it's kind of a bummer.
yeah,
So
it,
hopping into Havoc, you get the call from Gareth, and
yeah.
is there any conversation about how is there any conversation with him how you're going to shape Ching's presence on screen, or
Mm.
does Gareth go, "Hey man, you're Sonny Pang, you can speak fucking 30 different fucking languages. I just want you to take it and make it your own," or did he give you some bullet points to follow along the way?
Well, what we did was that when I arrived on in Wales the following next day, I went over to have a meeting with him about an hour because he was still shooting. He was shooting, I think, the Medusa segment. I think they're preparing. So yeah, so kind of preparing. So I came into the studio and then I saw him standing down there. Say, yeah, and then we start talking and everything. So he and another producer, Aram, sat on the table with me. So I said, so we have a bit of chat, and then we only have like an hour to talk about this whole idea of the character. So Gareth goes at it. This is how the point they're watching is doing, and so bullet points that I need to know, but run with it. Well, whatever you feel you should be doing. So I did. So I read the script. I said, okay, this the situation is happening. So I just put it into myself, and with that kind of situation, how the camera is going, I remember all the lines, and so I go with it. And I remember my first day was at the beginning of the part where I met with Charlie. Met with Charlie Mia. So that part, and actually that I was smoking and everything. So obviously, when you have a situation, something is going down, right? You tend to have a bit of nervous. I remember that kind of moment where my club was almost attacked by some gangs when I was there as a bouncer. Putting all the sticks and everything. I was having cigars. I was smoking my cigars, but I was nervous. So I used that to leverage, put up those moments for what you have seen. So it's really like you have that. Holy shit! I saw them, but I just want to hold on. What the hell are they doing? The same thing goes. But actually, they did not. They stand afar, stare at me, and then I stare back, and I just look and say, if this shit's gonna go down, we're gonna go fucking. I'm gonna go swinging, right, with the stakes, whatever I can grab. So those are moments are real. So I never been through before. So it's easy for me to get into those moments. And it was fun that up to a certain few takes, the cigarettes was not working because the studio doesn't allow real cigarettes. I say, what the fuck, man? You give me a vape, but what the fuck? It doesn't work. And sometimes it doesn't work. Sometimes it works. NG couple of times. We have a bit of problem with that. But then again, after when the prop guy fixed it, he got pissed at the damn thing. And finally it worked. So we get onto it. And there's one part walking down. So Mia was coming out across that. We shoot that as well. We shoot the dialogue scene with the kid. So everything was okay. Until one point, then Gav said, you remember the script? He said that to me in a very harsh tone. I said, yeah, read about it. What the fuck, man? Yeah, you sure? Yeah. Hey, don't give me that 30 look, man. Everybody think that we're gonna fuck each other's up, man. Just go quiet. Hey, chill, man. We're just talking to each other. And Matthew, okay, Matt, we call him Matt. Add on some salt and pepper. Yeah, you always fucking forget the script. They go fuck yourself, no, let's chill out. So we keep on throwing things at each other, but it was just all jokes. And then everybody, when we start laughing, everybody knows we're joking. But before that, everybody just go quiet. Everybody thought we were going to start screaming at each other. No, we're just good friends. We just talk shit to each other all the time. You know?
You brought up Matthew
Yeah,
Flannery, the
yeah,
cinematographer. Um,
yeah.
I thought he really captured the grit and claustrophobia of
Oh,
the
yes.
urban world that you guys are in. As someone
Yeah.
who is kind of used to performing complex physical scenes in these
Hmm.
type of environments, how did the visual storytelling done by Matt help you in your
Hmm.
performance? Did it influence your performance at all, or no?
No, he's complex himself. So he's a complex character to begin with. Look at him, so bloody tall. I always talk to him there. You always give me a neck problem, God damn it, you fucking tall. Yeah, he was just talk down on me, as usual. We're talking shit. But the way he framed it is already pre-planned. Like it's already have storyboard. So they know exactly what to do. And when the first AD, Liam, would actually tell me what to do. So I just follow exactly as it is. But I add on some of the things my own self. Like the expressions, the kind of like intensity, whatever it is. So I make use of whatever the environment they give me because I'm very flexible. I won't go and think twice so much, but I did go on set first to look at where am I going beforehand. So I to get myself familiar with the environment and feel the claustrophobic environment, the smokes plus the dangers happening, and So I get myself into those moments. Yeah, it was fun. Yeah.
So to that point, you talk about sharing the screen with Matthew. You particularly, you share the screen with some powerhouses in this
Oh
film.
yes, hell yeah.
I mean, you share the screen with who I actually thought, and correct me if I'm wrong. I want to make sure that I say her name right because I thought she was fantastic. But Yeo Yann Yann, is that
Oh, that's my good friend, Yeo Yann Yann. Yes.
Yin Yin?
Yan Yan, it's yeah.
She
She is
is
awesome, man.
fantastic. She is
Yeah.
so intimidating in this film, much like
Yes.
yourself. But describe to me, or if you have any stories, what was like working with Yao Yin Yin or Jessie Mei Li or Timothy Oliphant. What's it like working alongside of them, particularly in such a high stakes, high adrenaline environment? Was there a specific scene or a rehearsal that you did with any of them that stands out in your mind?
Well, first of all, Yan Yan is one of my close friends. We know each other for a very long time. Back in 2006 or 2007, when we shoot a film called The One Last Dance together. But she was we don't really actually connected, but I see her on set while she's doing her part. And I was supposed to storm in with a shotgun and kill her. Yeah, that's like a very simple scene, right? So, but after that, when I get to see her and I know who she is, we just hi bye and everything. She's very nice. I just know there's something about her just very unusual back then, right? Not because of like sexually or whatever, but I know that the discipline that she has, she'll do over and over again. And even though she got some accident onto her finger as well, she insists on keep doing the scene again and over again. So I really look up to her and say like, she's gonna be somebody different. And then many years passed on, and then we finally have a film together called The Collectors. She acted as my lover, and there's chemistry is there. We know each other, what we are doing. We rehearse the line. It's very natural that to work with her. It's just so comfortable. There is no I'm better than you. There is no that I'll outsmart than you. There's always room for us to discuss. We even talk shit about other people as well. About the whole circle, what is happening, and it's very family like. There is no who's better, who's not. There's always that. Think about this film. Have you watched this film? Do you like this film? Which actor do you like? This and that. We always talk about film. We always talk about what is the possibility of doing something great film, right? And then after that film, we shoot another movie together again. It's called The Battalion Street Warrior. She acted as one of my leader, one of my warrior leader. And then we have to fight, and I got killed. I listened to her, this and that. It's just very naturally we so I meet each other. And this film, she's the boss lady, right? And then, because of all the problems that we have and the kind of chemistry that we have, it's just so natural. There's nobody that is I was willing to work, even cut down my pay, I'm willing to work with her. There's always this closeness that we have. We always chat about a lot of things. And I remember she arrived after I arrived for like 2 weeks. She arrived in Wales, and then she called me and said, "Hey, brother, come out and have coffee." And straight away, I hop into the cab and then see her, and we have a coffee. We had so much to talk about. So excited to talk about who's in it and where we what we're gonna do. We talk about the scripts and so on. How she gonna come approach on this. Like, it's so easy, like it's just meeting my own family, right? And Yan Yan has won the Golden Horse Award before for one of the best performance. Yeah, she's best actress. She's really good, and I was like, congratulate her, give her a call, say, awesome, and you deserved it, right? But then again, when you come back to Southeast Asia, like our hometown, maybe we'd have a little bit of respect, but everybody will start avoiding you because you became the A list, right? The kind of top dogs and everything. But as you can see, when you talk to me, there is nothing like that.
No.
We we always like down to earth. We always talk to people, but because of the inferiority complex they have, and then result to that we have very little jobs. And me and her, we both have the same problems, and she was also being bullied as well in a certain point. I would not mention who whatsoever, but at some time I felt that is all this necessarily, you know what I mean? It's just inferiority complex, man. I mean that I don't give a crap about what other people say. I just do whatever I love. And yes, Gareth Evans chose me to be in a movie because of the promise that he keep. I don't expect much out of it. Even I told Gareth, even if it's for 5 minutes, I'll do it anyway. Right? I don't really care because the kind of promise that you gave me, it's really so I mean I'm so grateful to it. Nobody in this chance will give you this kind of opportunity. Not in my country. There is, but then they kill it off because they talk all kinds of budgets and all this kind of bullshit. Everything's all crap. Right? I'm saddened sometimes when I look back at my own place where I come from. Of course, there are people who still turn to me, but very little. But when I get out of this country, the whole world is looking and cheering on. They like what I do, right? I got fans from India write to me. I got fans from US write to me. I got fans from UK when I was in the premiere of Havoc. I mean, I didn't expect anything much, but it was a lot of camera. My ball was tangling on my knee, man. Fuck, man, what am I gonna do? I was just like, holy shit, man. God damn it, there's so many cameras. I don't know whether to smile or just put on the face. Fuck it, or just go whatever, right? So after that, when I passed those cameras, somebody on the far left started yelling my names. And it's my fans. A group of my fans was there waiting for me. And I was just like, what the fuck? I was just like, okay, gonna stay composed and just sign my autograph and take pictures. But I'm glad, right? I'm really glad. And people are so welcoming and just like, I don't feel I'm top of the world, but I feel that I'm being appreciated. You know what I mean?
I
At
mean,
the end of it, sometimes you just want to feel appreciated, but it just somehow, one way or the other, when you come back down here, there are people, but a lot of them were just waiting to see you sink the boat. Yeah.
that's got to be, I mean, because you've been acting for a very long time at this point. So I got to think,
Yeah.
like, even though that you're nervous, stop being nervous, man. You've earned it. You've earned this love that you get from around the country. But I think it goes back to what I said about you at the beginning of the show. I think it's more, yes, your work is definitely worth following, but I think once we actually talk to you as a person, I think that's where all of us kind of go, "Oh, he's the real fucking deal." Like he's somebody that I want to hang out with. Whereas like obviously there's a lot of actors and actresses that just they're not really a fan of the spotlight. They hate press junkets, the whole nine yards. And I kind of go back and forth on that because on the one hand, yes, of course, if you're not used to being kind of bombarded with questions and cameras and flashing lights and stuff like that, I could see how it could be a little overwhelming. The flip side to that, though, is we all came to see you. Like, we all came to see your performance or whoever's performance we're talking about. So I do think
Yeah.
that there needs to be a little bit more appreciation, especially now when everybody's got a phone and they can record your reaction or everything. To
Yeah.
me, it just seems like it's such an easy thing to do to just be kind to those that are supporting you. Obviously, you
Yeah.
have some crazy fans here and there, but for the most part, like I love to hear that at your UK premiere, you got people screaming "Sonny" over here. That's fantastic, man. Like because
Yeah.
to me
Yeah.
now it starts to show just how far your reach has gotten. Like
Yeah.
you aren't just Southeast Asia. You are global now. That's a big fucking deal these days, man.
Yeah. It is. Yeah.
So,
I mean that coming back to like who else that I think that was a big surprise for me. Like, I met Forest Whitiker, Forest, the ghost dog, man. I was just like, holy crap, it's ghost dog. Fuck, what am I supposed to say? And me and Yin was both fans of his, right? So at that point, we're just like, we have to move in and shake his hand. Say, then he was saying hi. I say hi. I said, then Yan Yan just fly in. I say, hey, what the fuck? I come here first, man. She just hug him and it's just like, say, okay. Then I say, hi, sir. Hello. shaking his hand. One hand, he's holding Yin Yan. The other hand, I was just shaking his hand. I don't know why I have to keep holding your hand, but I don't think so. I'm going to let it go. He
Oh,
was all smart. He was laughing. He knows that we were just joking, and we're just like cool, big fans down there, looking at him and shaking his hand. Talking to him. Or just like it's really surreal. And when it comes to his acting bits, and when he go through rehearsal on his craft and everything, me and Yin just sit nearby from not really far away. We're just looking at. And I'll turn to Yin and say, "Man, this is like a masterclass live, man. It's just like from a king like that. You know what I mean? A king of kings. So
yeah.
it's just like a
Last King of
masterclass for us.
Scotland. Wasn't he in that? The
Yeah,
Last King of Scotland?
yeah, that's right. The last kings of Scotland, Mike goes down, which is like everything is down there. It's just like wow, it's just crazy, right?
I'm so
So yeah,
glad
those
you
are the best times.
I'm so glad that you mentioned Ghost Dog for my audiences. If you have not seen Ghost Dog yet, that's a great pull from Sonny. Ghost Dog is, I think, definitely underrated, but
Yes,
now that it's like been, what, 20 years since that film's released, I hate to see great films like that kind of get buried beneath what people call content these days, like Jim Jarmusch is a fantastic filmmaker, and
yeah, yeah. Ginger moves.
if you guys have not seen Ghost Dog,
Oh, you should
af-
watch, man.
yeah, after you watch Havoc with Sonny in it, then you need to watch Ghost Dog.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
I had a couple more questions for you, man. So
Sure. Go right ahead.
so first and foremost, I think my favorite scene with you is definitely the scene in the hospital. We get to see your range, not only your range, but you can speak in different languages because you are having a conversation with Vince, played by Timothy Oliphant, in the
Uh-huh.
hospital, and you are speaking to him in English. You kind of talk some shit to him, and it says Cantonese.
Cantonese.
Yeah, yeah.
Cantonese.
You're talking shit to him in Cantonese. I think my favorite, and we can talk a little bit about that sequence. I'm sure it wasn't Timothy on the phone, was it, when you were doing it?
He wasn't on the phone and somebody feed me the lines.
Okay.
And then I was just going through, imagine his how the way you're going to respond to it. Of course, not everything is perfect, but I'll try as much as I could, right? So when we have that conversation, when we're shooting the whole thing, and then the feedbacks and everything. So I was imagining, so I go through. I said, okay, this situation is getting tense, right? So how am I going to build this up? So as I walk closer towards, I did went out to the whole place again, look at where exactly I'm gonna hit on that guy. So I went through the whole thing again just to look where am I gonna go, how's this gonna be, you know, what kind of situation I'm in. Sort of imagine, prepare myself right beforehand. So I go through that, and then after that, when things are on action, so I run through the lines with the camera, with Matt running with the camera and this and that. So you need this to be placed, and I need to stand here. I need to avoid standing on the other side, things like that. And so all kinds of technical stuff. So the moment when up on action, we did like probably I think 6 takes on that with the whole course, and then we reversed on my back going again. That was like probably 3 takes or something, and that's it. And then we moved on to the frontal when I walked past the guy that I'm going to kill with the police as well. So that's like I think probably 2 days in total in the process. Yeah.
I think what I like most about that, or most about that sequence, or a little touch, I should say, that I really liked, is that the woman that you bump into, and you're like, oh,
Uh-huh.
I'm sorry, I'm sorry. Ultimately, you waste her ass about 2 minutes later. You fucking put her in the ground about 2 minutes
Yes.
later, and I was like, you know what? That is a nice little layer to Ching's character. It's very brief, obviously, but you kind of
Yes.
go, oh, Ching's not fucking around anymore, and you
No.
are like, I love how there's a fuck that you say in there, but you do it with intensity, but it's controlled intensity because you are still in a hospital. I fucking loved it. And your eyes, we were talking about this a couple weeks ago because you were like, I was like, bro, there's a couple scenes where your eyes are telling a story. Your eyes are so intense, and you're like, what the fuck are you talking about, Sean? And I was just like, well, listen, we'll talk about it on the show, but it's these sequences right here. And I love,
Yeah,
actually, if we're talking specifically about some of the acting that you do with your eyes, I think my favorite bit is when you're asked to leave by what's it Sue asks you to leave,
yeah,
and
yeah.
you do like a very subtle grit of the teeth and almost like a very slow drawn out blink, but you can tell in that moment you're fucking pissed. You're
Yeah.
pissed, and that's what I was trying to tell you when we were talking is that like I think so. You know how they say Tom Hanks is the best on-screen thinker. You know, I think people say that. I'm not for
Yeah.
sure. But a lot of acting can be done. Like Daniel Day-Lewis is another one. Being able to tell a scene with your eyes is not easy to do. And sir,
Mhm.
you're nailing it across the board. Across the board.
Oh, thank you, thank you. Well, that scene was actually longer, but they cut out some of the dialogues from the kid because he was supposed to criticizing me that I'm trying to get my get into put get to a higher position, but at the end he's the one who actually gets the seat, and then he was just indirectly pressing my nerve button, and I was just really pissed. So that's why you see the drop when I went to it because I was going really mad. It feels like I'm gonna put up my fucking gun and shoot you in the ass, you know. But then again, I try to like calm down because my plans is to get him out of the equation, get the kid out of the equation. So to make sure everything, whatever I deserve, I get it back right once and for all with the help of the cops and the drugs and everything else. But didn't know this thing goes sour. You know what I mean? So I'm the one also planned with Vincent, with Forest Whitiker, to plan the whole fucking stake with this. So I am to be blamed because my character is actually very jealous of what is happening. You know what I mean?
Well,
So that anger,
you got pushed out. You got pushed
yeah,
out.
I got
And
pushed.
you got
Yes,
actually they Fredoed you from Godfather 2. You were passed
yeah,
over. You were
yeah,
passed.
that's right. So when I read the script, I was just like, okay, I'm Fredo right now, but I just thought, okay, that's good. But how am I gonna do this? So when he criticizing me, that actor Jeremy, which is he's very good, right? When he criticizing me, he give me that exchange. So I felt it, the arrogance, and so I returned back and just grab my teeth, but just drop myself away from it and just leave. So that was how it come about because I need the actor to able to bounce back with me, so I can feed on those emotions that I need to be feed, need to be felt. Yeah,
I'm glad that you brought that up about emotions. Was there any
yeah.
aspects of your character that you found to be most relatable or most difficult to tap in emotionally, if that makes sense? What aspects of the character did you find the most relatable or most difficult to really get into, if any at all?
Okay, I can assure you that this character that I play, Ching, is similar to somebody who actually set me up, betrayed me before. Okay, yeah, this character because I used to have another group of guys working together with me. So I allocate the job to this person who I trustworthy. Okay, I'm not going to mention his name, but his initial is L. I will call him L. L is a piece of shit, but I didn't know that. I didn't notice that he's supposed to be that way because I trusted all my life. We were in this project, and then he just feel that it's about time that I didn't do my jobs, and he think he's smarter than I do. He tried to overclimb me and take everything away from me, just like clearing the whole dinner table for me without me noticing it, which he successfully did. But then again, he betrayed me, and he's the kind of people that easily jealous, and he will plot things to get you out of the equation and call himself a king. He even set this up to the previous group of guys way before this group of guys, and said that if you follow Sonny, you only get this amount of money, but if you follow me, I'll give you more money, which is all BS. Actually, they're actually supposed to get more money than usual. But he make this up so to make himself look bigger. So he and Ching are no difference. So when I read this whole damn thing, right, this whole script of Havoc, I said, why the hell am I acting like this fucking hell, man? It's just like it's maybe it's about time to let go because he's all talks and everything. But there was one time that one of his guy, when he was doing a job, L, on a production, the guy actually accidentally took a gun, rubbed again on his belt, and the whole thing dropped off, and he got really pissed and yelled it at his own man, like you motherfucker, all kinds of vulgar language, even towards his own mother, and all kinds of bad things. I mean, on set, you shouldn't do this kind of behavior. It shouldn't be this kind of behavior. Mistakes will always happen. It's part of the process of filming, right? But he got all emotional because he wanted to feel that he's in power. And right after that, the guy walked away, never come back. And one day he called him up. He said, I'm under your apartment right now. Come down. So the L guy come down, and this guy was approaching him, took out something from his back of his back of his pocket. It's actually a roll paper. It was just newspaper. He thought there's a knife, but it wasn't. He take it out and he chicken shit out and run off. He thought it was a knife. It was actually only a newspaper. And you see the kind of cowardice that he has. And he always tell people that he is this martial art, he fight with this, he is so powerful, he's so intelligent, but he's just nothing but full of shit. He just want people to know that he's so powerful. Ching is almost the same. When he got really nervous at the end, he got like, you blame me this, well, because of you, you betray me, it's actually supposed to be my time. This is how the way he is. Yeah, so this is exactly like reverse and telling me that, I should let go of this character. Yeah,
So then I gotta think you found the role to be almost therapeutic in a sense to kind of
correct.
to get it off your chest in a way.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. In a way that, I mean, that I look at the bright side, and sometimes it's also funny that when I pick up a role, sometimes it's just reflecting that what I experienced before. Just like, hey, what the hell, man? Where this coming from, dude? This is the second time it happens to me. So it's just like, it's almost telling me to let go. Okay. And also that I also know that what happened to this guy, he had no job whatsoever. He has never made a name for himself. And all you get is complain, sitting at shops and complaining about every single people, trying to be a philanthropy, but he's nobody to begin with, and he won a award for 5 minutes short film. He think he's $1 million. Like long time before I tell him winning awards with or without doesn't matter. The matter is the process. It's always the process that means so much for our growth. Because that was what I was being taught by my teacher. Yeah.
Well, on behalf of myself and the rest of my audience, fuck that person. Fuck that person, because like I don't know, man. Like I've never in the many times that we've talked, I don't know. Like I just don't. You're the last person that I would think that like you would even want to take advantage of because
No.
you're so fucking open and kind. And anyway, fuck that guy. You got it. You're fuck that person. A couple more questions for you, man.
Sure, let's go.
I know we're running a little long. I do
All
apologize.
good, all good, all good.
Was there a particular piece of direction that Gareth gave you during a scene or a rehearsal that stuck with you and changed how you saw your character? And then I'll tack on to another one on top of it, something that maybe a piece of direction that he gave you that you're now going to take with you on future projects.
I think the whole project's gonna take me with the whole projects together with me because this whole project was very dear to me as well. I've never been into such huge set and so much respect from everyone. And meeting my idol, Forest Whitiker, was just like it's an eye opening to see him at work. So to meet Tom as well, really nice guy, but his dedication means something to me. That just like wow, people like that still keep up the good work and so on. You know, there's never whatever people outside saying, but you have to meet the person first and see for yourself. Tom actually also invites some of the people to go, some of the fun fair to play, and then we watch movie together with Forest Whitiker. Shang-Chi was the movie we watched together, and then we have a drink, treat us for a drink, and have so much fun with the crew, so much fun with Gareth Evans as well. Although, you poke fun at each other, yell at each other with names, you
Yeah,
know.
you got to have some teasing on the set. You got to be able to tease your peers, you know?
We do, man. Sometimes you get a bit overboard, and the Liam, that first AD, was just like, "Oh my God, I'm not listening to this." Because there was one time that Gareth said, "Hey, we chose something together," and then he said, "F you, fuck you." I said, "No, thank you. I don't dig shit." And then everybody just started laughing. And Liam was just, "Oh my God, I'm not taking this shit."
So
I
you're
mean, it was just
taking
like,
the whole project with you, like everything
yeah,
you're taking with you.
everything, everything. Because that, I don't know, it just, even though it's 4 years ago, every day for me was just like on set, it's not working, it's playing. And you have such great crew, everybody's so well respected. The sound guy, Matthew, Gareth, everybody was just so family alike. There is no ego, you know. Every time that we meet each other, we greet each other. Even the PAs are great as well, always checking on us. I said, we all good. Maybe you just give me a bottle of water, then we give you a bottle of water, and we have no demands. Me and Yan Yan, we don't call ourselves, diva or whatever. We just want to work with people because it's a process of a teamwork. It's not about us. Because I always say that even for to the sound guy, it's about teamwork. Sometimes I tease him as well. He like the kind of jokes. Hey, keep on coming, more jokes. Because they like to feel at ease with you, not with tension. Because that's how I've been brought up as well by my teacher. Make everybody comfortable with you. Because it's not about teamwork. So it's easier when they check some sound problem, they come to you, just let them do the job and say thank you. They said, all right, you keep on saying thank you. I feel like I'm gonna be a monk. Get the fuck out of here.
How does working on like a Western production like Havoc, is there
Yeah,
any difference than, working in Southeast Asia, especially in terms of action choreography, production scale, or storytelling style? Is there any differences between Southeast Asia and the West?
I think I like the West in terms of the because of the budgets and because that we can actually focus on one scene a day, right? You can fully give it 100% or maybe 200% on the character. You can actually fully not stressing out what the next chapter or the next scene you're gonna do. Because sometimes we hop so many scenes a day, right? The worst one that I have on a day, we probably do 7 scenes a day, 7 to 8 scenes a day. It's kind of crazy that we have to run through the dialogues and everything. Oh my God, it's just like not happening, right? So I think the West ones, it's giving you some times to go through, leaving you alone. I mean, I was living alone in my apartment, but then again, it gave me more space to learn my lines, to feel what is it like to do a bit of research because I don't always go out. The place that I go out is always the nearby coffee shop where it's next to the beach. I can just relax and just ease down myself. So yeah, I think that it's really good. I can also train myself as well. So everything, whatever I have it. But because based on the budget. But in terms of the process of actions, I think that it's also good that it's Gareth style. It's block by block what you're gonna do. It's not the master shot. You don't shoot master shot. So exactly what he said, like what he used to do. So you do this A. Once you're done, it's A. Then move on to B. Then move on to C. And it's very easy for us to remember what is happening. So it's not an issue. I feel the most comfortable in this set, this whole piece. Yeah, this whole movie. Yeah,
I mean, even when you watch his films, he definitely is a over pre-planner, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't seem to me like the type of writer or director. Not that he doesn't do it occasionally, but I don't feel there's a lot of there's not an overwhelming amount of wiggle room to kind of do what you want because he is very laser focused on what he
Yes.
wants to see. Yeah.
Yes. He's always been like that. Well, since the last time I know him. Yeah, because last time, even though during the time we were preparing, he's always very focused, and I did help him with a bit of camera work. That time he was doing a certain previs. So I said, "You can you when I pass you the camera, can you bring it down here?" And then when I move around, then you pass it on. We do it a couple of times just to get it right. So just like he's very focused. And then when went to his computer laptop, he went to the chopping board and tried to edit everything out. He would do it again. So he would do it again. I said, "This is how focused he is." So I like the kind of storytelling that he comes up with. There's no bullshit, first of all. Second, he knows exactly where he want to place the camera, and it's always been. And then Matt will work alongside with him with the camera and the lightings and so on. Everything's preset pretty much down there, so we don't have to worry. We just have to go through whatever needs to be done, and that's it. Yeah. So I think that it's one of the best working environment ever.
I think one of my favorite things, and I hope, and I hate it when you know, podcasts or journalists that are covering art form in any capacity. I think one of the questions that they always ask, which I really don't like, so I'm going to frame it differently. But they always ask, "What are you going to do next?" Well, now that this project's over, what's next? What's next? What's next? And I always feel like that's kind of degrading to the current project that you're talking about because
Yeah.
we are very much like that type of society that's just like, oh, well, it's on to the next thing, on to the next thing, and not letting whatever piece that you just watched or listened to or whatever, you're not letting it ruminate at all or marinate at all. And I
Mm,
think what a huge thing at the end of this film that at least in the context of you and your character Ching, I actually it started to make me salivate for a future project with you and Gareth, where we get to see a lot of your physicality because in this film we see a lot of your acting chops, which I love,
yeah.
and it's almost like and I would love to pick Gareth's brain, but it's almost like a great setup for you in terms of Western audiences seeing you. Who's that guy that talk or that flipped between English and Cantonese, and he was one of the villains in Havoc. But now, if there's a future project with you guys, we are. Gareth already gave the piece of you that can act. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I talked to a couple people online, and they were like, well, it just sucks that we didn't get to see Sonny fight more and do more action. And I shot that shit down, man. I was like, first of all, you should be happy that you're getting to see this film at all because obviously
Yeah.
it's been a long road to get here,
Yeah.
especially for you guys. And then we got to see your acting put on display that we really haven't seen since The Night Comes for Us, like in terms of being able to fluctuate between you know, different dialects or whatever. And I actually like this. And again, this could just be something that I'm telling myself, you know, to get excited. But Western audiences now get to see Sonny the actor, and they don't even know what the fuck that you can do with your physicality. I think that's what's great. Like because now if I recommend this film and they'll be like, oh, you talked to Sonny, he was great in the film, he was great on the podcast. Yeah, wait until you see the physicality that he can bring to the screen when it warrants it. And everybody, a couple actually people that you talked to, I'm not going to say his name on here, but he said. Well, I was just pissed that Sonny didn't get to fight more, and it's like, hold on a second. Sonny's an actor. Don't don't get don't get it twisted. Like, yes,
Yeah.
Sonny can move better than a lot of other actors, but you really are kind of downplaying just how fucking good he did in the picture by wanting, you know, and I tried telling this guy that you know, I tried telling him the beauty of the French Connection isn't necessarily the action. It's these intertwining storylines that come to a head at the end, and you're a part of that. Why are you not
Yeah,
appreciative that Sonny's a part of that? So,
yeah,
but anyway, a couple more things for you, sir. So, this film
sure.
is grounded in themes of loyalty, power, consequences. Is there a message or a feeling that you hope that the audience walk away with after watching Havoc, especially from your character's journey? I know that seems like a tough one.
My character's journey. Sometimes it's better to look beyond greed than rather to be greed and thinking that you can rule the world. It's just best to whatever is on the table, just eat it.
That
Don't
that's
don't
great.
yeah, just eat it. Don't try to be something that you're not, because at the end of it, you will be paid for the consequences that you're giving. So whether you like it or not, karma is always watching. And to be honest, gravity, the Earth turns clockwise, never anti-clockwise. So what comes around goes around, buddy.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, you're an asshole in this film. There's
Oh, it's all good.
Sonny, I'm gonna get you out of here, but I wanted to say something before I let you
Yeah,
go. I
thank you,
wanted to extend my deepest gratitude for you
thank
taking
you.
the time to come
All
on the
good.
show and share your thoughts with not only me, but your experiences surrounding working on Havoc. As always, it's always an absolute, and I do mean this. Look at me. I mean this. It's an absolute honor to have you on my show,
Thank you.
man. It's an honor to call you my friend. Your
Yeah,
insights into the filmmaking process, especially your collaboration with the entire cast and crew, your, approach to the performance. I know that there's a lot of people listening to this that will find this conversation inspiring, man. And
thank you, thank
not
you.
only will they be inspired, but you're the reason that they're going to be inspired. Not me. I'm just a moderator. That's a testament to who you are. Your
Thank
ability
you.
to bring such depth into your
Yeah,
roles, and every and I love Tom Hardy and I love you. There's something to be said about both of you. The second your face appears on screen, there's a presence that exists that's not how it always is. I mean, even my fiance. Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you, sir. I got engaged a few weeks ago. I
oh, congratulations.
thank you, thank you. My fiance was even saying, she's like, who commands a screen just as well as Tom Hardy? Sonny does. That guy right
Thank you.
there does, and that I and I bring that up because you and I, we watch movies all the time, but it's really great to hear someone who's not a part of that world in any capacity saying things like that. And this was before she even knew that I was going to interview you or anything like that. She thought the hospital sequence was great, and and it's because you bring that authenticity to your roles, particularly in gritty, high octane films of past, and it resonates with audience in powerful ways. Like for me, everybody's good in there, but there's something to be said. I actually, and I know I've said this to you before, but I actually think it makes you more badass when you are switching between Cantonese and English in the same breath. I think that
Yeah,
actually adds a layer to your badassness. I told you that about what the night comes for us. You have a way to just be so cool and yet so intimidating in the same breath. So what I wanted to do, hold on. I kind of I should have did this at the beginning of the show, but I didn't want to look goofy. Hold on one second. Get this. We'll get
yeah,
this going on right here. Get
yeah,
get the Ronin action group. Um,
yeah.
our listeners, myself included, I know that they're going to be captivated by your stories on set,
Thank
how
you.
you approach your character's internal conflict, the challenges of executing complex sequences, like especially that final sequence of the film. Obviously, we don't do any spoilers here, gang, but and the camaraderie that you talked about with the cast and crew. The way you spoke about working with Gareth or Yin Yin, and I think you gave us a rare glimpse into the heartbeat of the film
Yeah,
Havoc, and
yeah.
they're the reason why I continue to talk to you. It's your passion, it's your craft, it's your discipline, your dedication. I myself find it incredibly motivating. There is a part of me that someday, like, I want to work with you in the film capacity. I don't want to talk
For
to
sure.
you, and that is a testament to the times that you and I have talked. So
Yeah.
I think you're an inspiration for actors and filmmakers everywhere. Thank you for
Thank
being
you.
so generous with your time, sharing your journey, your honesty, your humility. It made for another great episode between you and I, my friend, and I
Thank
hope
you so much.
there are many more to come. So I appreciate you, man.
Thank you so much.
All
Thank you,
right,
everyone.
man. We will talk soon, brother. We will talk soon.
Sure.
All
Perfect.
right, gang. We are going to get Sonny out of here. He's isn't he great? Like all the fucking time. Is every time I have him on here, it's just it's a pleasure. Um, and I, I just hope the people listening realize just, not only a testament to who he is as a person, but just his craft as an actor. So, um, obviously, we kept it spoiler free, gang, but I just wanted to reiterate Havoc is on Netflix now. It is written and directed by Gareth Evans. It is starring Tom Hardy, Jessie Mei Li, Timothy Oliphant, Forest Whitaker, Justin Cornwell, Quinlan Sepulveda, Luis Guzman, Yeo Yann Yann, Michelle Waterson Gomez, and of course, Sonny Pang, who was on the show. Music by Aria Prayogi, cinematographer by Matt Flannery, edited by Sara Jones and Matt Platts-Mills, production designed by Tom Pearce. It's available now, gang. I had a great time. I definitely think it was worth the wait. I think a lot of critics that were banging on this film, they just I wonder if some of you all are action film aficionados when you write the shit that you do. Because if you predominantly are watching, like, top 40 hits, IP stuff, like, yeah, this film's not going to be fucking for you. This is off the beaten path. This is you found your way down an alley that you probably shouldn't be in. But thank you again to Sonny for coming on the show. Hopefully this episode was good for you guys. I would assume that it is. Sonny is always fucking fantastic every time he comes on the show. So, Ella Cinema, Sonny Pang, Havoc, Netflix now. I got some coming down the pipe for you, gang. But in the meantime, Ella Cinema, we gone.